All right. Welcome to the show, Batman Radio, the greatest radio show of all time with your host, the Batman Tyrese Sneed. So, like I was saying, man, it just be funny, bro. I'd be watching a lot of these videos on YouTube and on the internet, and the one common thing I've noticed, bro, is there's a lot of people who are agitated all over the country and frustrated. Some of them for justified reasons, some of them for wrong reasons. But the fact of the end of the day is that the only thing that really matters is whether you're going to get anywhere, right, with your whatever it may be, your gripes, your frustration, your belief system, right? But most of you have a jaded lens, I've noticed. Most of you have logic that is a fallacy and it's flawed. And this is why you're having such a hard time. You got to understand. Let me remind you what I do. I just bring logic and clarity to every situation that I come across. I bring peace, I bring equality, I bring fairness, and I'm a just, righteous man. And, you cannot conquer a righteous mind like I've taught y'all and been an example of for decades. First thing I want to say, there is members of the Red Triangles on the internet that you currently have videos up online. They're incriminating yourself. Okay. So it's easy to get the federal indictment when we take this to court, honestly, because you're mentioning the names of all the affiliates that have done actual, acts of what, right? Domestic, what, in this country, right? And they will be held accountable in court. It's guaranteed. You cannot do that. You cannot think that you're going to get away with that. You cannot get away with that. And like I said, you have people who they have affiliations within the Red Triangles, an underground illegal gang and an illegal organization, right? That I am personally going to make sure I get every member locked up and put in prison. You understand? Because again, the crimes that they committed mostly were towards me. So when you get a group that bands together to try to stop one man and then you tell on yourself what you come from, right? Because now it's crystal clear that Tommy Sotomayor is a cult leader, that is a cult, and like I said, an underground gang and a legal organization, and they need to all go to prison. And he's a cult leader, and last I checked, cult leaders like Nature Boy, they go to prison, right? Usually they go to prison indefinitely because that's the charge for being a cult leader because they cause so much mayhem and everything that they've done, right? And all they want to do is just try to be disruptive and destructive towards everyone. And this all has to do with the fact that your boy, who's a cult leader, right, could not compete with me because he was jealous because I had all the money at one time and I always do. And I'm blessed and I look beautiful and I'm handsome and I'm clearly, gifted in every way of which he is not, and all of you people are not. So you're trying to tell me that because I got on camera and went back and forth for a little minute and there was a little internet spat that you felt that you were going to get together and you really thought that you were going to stop me from number one having my livelihood, number two living my life. That is absolutely insane and delusional. But just understand you all completely have incriminated yourself with your videos because you're on the videos. See, I do research, so I start looking years back at what people were doing and what people were on, and now I'm really connecting the dots and figuring out this federal lawsuit I'm putting together. You see what I'm saying? These people already know it's a matter of time, and I mean, the fact is, the feds, the FBI, the CIA, all of them could have been investigated, y'all, and already had you locked up, right? And I know that a lot of what you're doing is connected to, like I said, the corrupt departments, because I've already proven that you have corrupt ties publicly. You proved yourself that you have corrupt ties, right? Like in Akron, Ohio, you proved it on camera. You understand? So everything that I'm displaying and bringing to the public is so that we can have an environment in our society and in these communities that is safe for everyone else. That is all that I do is point out the obvious facts of the crimes that people are committing because all the people who it's supposed to be their job to investigate crimes and actually stop crimes, that's not their job description anymore, I guess, because now it seems that all they do is just, like I said, kind of bother innocent civilians, do nothing at all, ride around, waste time. I mean, it's the facts, right? Just cause a bunch of issues for random people that don't need to deal with it, right? But, like I said, it makes absolutely no coherent sense. You'll never be able to explain it in a court of law, right? And like I said, everybody is held accountable. Nobody is above the law. You understand? It all stems down to the fact of that this country's been turned into a third world country. You understand? So here's the thing, first of all, like I said, first of all, that cult leader, he's going to go to prison. Like that's guaranteed, right? I'm not even worried about that, right? Then number two, him and Tariq Nasheed, right, committed crimes, right, towards me, right, and actually stole like content of mine, right, that was chronologically, I can prove that it was my content. Tariq Nasheed put some of it in Hidden Colors. The Tommy Sotomayor dude stole me having the phrase of that I represent truth and logic, and then he tried to do a fake tour off of it, which was a flop. So you're telling me that this man who was begging for my oil money, right, which I refused to give him, okay, and you're telling me that because somebody is a YouTube personality, right, and like I said, because I didn't want to give them my money, right, you're saying that that makes sense to you? Like I said, these people are online. I can prove 100% that they banded together across state lines. That's already felonies. Then, when you commit felonies across state lines, traveling tons of thousands of miles, right, to have me lose a job that I didn't care about, right? And then when you've also paid off other people to pretend that they're firing me from a job, which they don't have the authority to do, right? And you actually found that out that they don't have any authority over me. Because, like I said, I was running my own business. I was never fired from anywhere. I quit. You see what I'm saying? It's different. I always quit. I've never had anyone ever fire me from a job. Do you know that? And like you can go back through records and documentation and I can prove this. You understand? No, I just walk away from situations that I don't need when it's like that, and then I file my federal lawsuit. That's why when people just let you talk and calm down and not be so triggered and pressed, you can get to the truth of a matter in a situation. Nobody ever has the authority to fire me because I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. You see what I'm saying? So again, you have to understand, I don't care what the ratings say. I don't care about all y'all's little ploys and how all y'all trying to make money off of me. You just have to understand this is what's going on. This is what's applicable, and it's extremely important to me. And I'm not letting go of nothing. Like I said, I'm taking this matter to court, probably Supreme Court, right, if I have to, and I'm guaranteed to win. Now, with the little rinky dink establishments down here, right? It's just the sense that, like I said, I know that there's a lot of crime going on. I know there's a lot of corruption, right? I know there's a lot of, evil people doing evil things. And like I said, I encourage and want all civilians to stand up and start pointing it out, start opening your mouth when you see that these people are clearly doing illegal activity. I mean, when they've already exposed and caught these departments, okay, doing what they're doing, they got caught doing actual child trafficking. Like I said, they had them in cuffs and they were loading them into an unmarked van. This is on video, on camera, and I have the video. I have access to the video on social media. This is a public matter and concern now. So what that means is that if that department was doing it in whatever county that was, what's to put it past any other department? Like I said, all the departments are Freemasons. They're all connected all over the country and the world, right? So see what they do is, like I said, they politic everything, they twist the law, which is illegal, and then basically they don't allow you to make tangible reports to defend yourself or protect yourself. They completely stop any ability to use the justice system that's supposed to be there to protect us. They completely take away all your civil rights and liberties, and then they pretend that they're going to just do whatever they want and dictate, what the law is now, and that's a dictatorship. We live in a democracy, so that would be illegal, and that's also a felony, meaning that it was result in anybody who does that losing their job and then probably going to prison. This is why this is happening all over the country. Okay. So you have to understand, like I said, I'm the only man, and I'm not going to let people take my credit away from me. I'm the only man who proved this, that they're all corrupt and they're all tied in and they all work together, that they're tied into the corporations. Right. And I said the corporations don't make their money off selling products, they make their money off child trafficking. This is what I'm trying to stop. My entire stance is to stop child trafficking completely, to protect the youth, to protect the kids, because nobody else will. So, like I said, you have to have a superhero, literally, who is willing to do this, because nobody else will stand up for the youth if I don't. That's the real truth. Because, I mean, how are they going to stand up for us if they're the people who are supposed to be there to protect us and protect them and protect? I mean, they're our future. They're supposed to protect our future. And instead, they're pointing the finger at innocent people, trying to put false jackets on individuals that it has nothing to do with and project what they're actively doing. And yet, all Masons, they all practice that illegal crime that's disgusting. So, I mean, they're all against the youth. That's the truth. All Masons, every Mason. I mean, they have no vested interest in obviously in a future, which is sick, right? It's disgusting, right? So I think I've talked about that enough for right now. Let's move on. As far as the rinky dink establishments, this is all just a concept of basically me making sure that there's no hate in the environment, in this world, and in this society, which is what I set out to do a long time ago. And I stated that I would not tolerate any. This is a no tolerance zone at this point. Anything having to do with me, if I'm around, I don't care if it's in person or on here. I'm not going to tolerate any of that. It's going to be nothing but love and positivity at this point and moving forward. That way we can build and be able to, like me, I serve as a role model for the youth and a role model for everybody to look up to. And so that we can build a future, for everybody. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and Christina, are plan to, have our own children. I mean, I want to build a legacy and be able to leave wealth behind, hopefully, and build a future for them. That really seriously is important to me. And anyone who that's not important to, I think something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So, that's number one. So, like I said, we will not tolerate any fake talk. We will not tolerate any of that nonsense. And that's why I've addressed everybody head on, straight up in front of them. Everybody has backed down like they always do. And then you've got stragglers who apparently don't know who they're talking to. Okay. So what's happened now is, like I said, people have, continued their nonsense and exacerbated the same issue that I'm beyond tired of. And basically now you just got me going and completely set me off where now I'm never going to stop exposing every single individual who is a part of this, right? Which when I say this, it's a plot against me because I'm a public figure. And these people wish that they could silence me because, like I said, I have completely exposed witches covens. I've defeated all of them straight up, like completely head on. I've defeated all of Masons, all of Masonry. I've defeated single handedly, all of Freemasonry. The entire family of Lucifer I took on head on and I won. That's the facts. I am 100% the most powerful man walking the streets to date. You have no idea who I am. You vastly underestimate me. And you don't seem to get that. Like I said, we don't play games over here. You all play a lot of games. I think you're the only people who always tend to think things are a game. We don't play games over here. That's why we keep winning. Like I said, as far as your cult leader Tommy Sotomayor, I'm the man who put him out of business. Okay, I basically put his entire internet career out of commission. Hold on. So how much more gangster can I really get with it, right? And he hasn't done anything about it besides get the people who we know exactly who they are and members of what group they are, and they don't have any real money. I mean, these are literally like bottom of the barrel people who can't afford a hot dog. And I wasn't aware until now, literally, do you understand this? That this is new information for me, that all of you were completely connected. I figured I had a hunch, but I was too busy, living my life and succeeding in what you're mad at to really pay attention. Now I know for a fact that it all comes from him and that all this was connected and that, like I said, they're an actual cult and they're all Satanists and they're all demonic. They all worship the devil. I stand with God. And I'm going to say this again. I mean, I have full evidence to win this lawsuit. I have full evidence on all of you and against all of you, right? And this includes the Penguin and his brother as well. Any more posts mentioning my name, saying anything about Batman, just understand you are 100% being your channel is being looked at, right? I wouldn't say monitored, but it's being looked at, and there is documented evidence being taken that is all being turned into an attorney and a lawyer. So, I mean, be my guest if you absolutely don't have ears and can't hear, but you're not very wise. Okay, you clearly need an ear exam because there's no possible way that you would continue a behavior just or repeatedly that you've been informed every time that it's illegal and then think that you're going to get on a stand and talk your way out of your charges. I have never seen anyone who just continues to basically dig their argument deeper, right, for themselves against themselves, that they're just going to keep on doing something that they know is illegal and wrong. I don't know what that is. I don't know if you think that's going to get you out of it, but it's just making your situation worse. This is why a lot of people, like, they'll tell people like, look, you yelling and screaming or you whatever getting irate is only making your situation worse. Okay, when you're calm, like I said, and you learn how to control your emotions and you approach thing on a and maintain an even keel, People can't mess with you, man, once you get your facts straight and get your facts in line and know what you're talking about and get your bases straight and your character and everything with God. Other than that, any of this fake nonsense I will be recording. You understand? All of it. Feel me? Matter of fact, hold on. Easy as pie. So, like I said, um, this is what I do for a living, which is just get my own justice, right? Like I said, nobody can tell me anything. My dad was a UT graduate lawyer. My grandfather was a Supreme Court judge. I know more about law than probably anyone you'll ever meet. And like I said, never had to take a class, not an attorney. I am studying independently for the bar exam. I am planning to probably be a lawyer and an attorney, right? As well as I may try to get whatever degrees I need and certifications to become a U.S. Marshal because I'd be extremely good at it. Because, I mean, you can just hear and see, I mean, like I said, physically, I can outdo anyone in the entire military, Navy, Marines combined. There's no one who can possibly even come close to me physically. Then, on top of it, linguistically talking, nobody can mess with me or hold a candle to me. And then, on top of that, well, intelligence wise, what I've done financially in my life, just anything, nobody's coming close to me. So, like I said, this all stems from actual just pure jealousy and envy. And I just think it's hilarious. I'm going to say it again. I am the reason that Tommy Sotomayor, right, doesn't have a channel on YouTube anymore. I'm the man who flagged it. And I think I had proof of at least 2 to 3 flags. So I'm the one who got him off of YouTube, like where he belongs, not on this network because he does not spread anything but hate and for his own and towards women, right? What I talk about is a career that's based off of saying reality, not saying put downs, not just trying to belittle like he did, but actually having a real conversation where people have a right to speak and I allow them to talk. The real people. Now, the real people in the public, they just haven't stepped up and stepped forward and had a conversation with me. You understand? All these other people, you're part of the red triangles. So, I mean, like I said, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you're part of the red triangles, you going to jail. It's just that simple. You go into prison. And like I said, I'm the man who basically completely stopped his little fake charade that wasn't a career. He tried to make a false claim of having a fake bank account with stocks of 300,000, exactly what I actually had because he's jealous. So the man basically just became obsessed with me. And now he's banned from YouTube and basically all of social media, and they'll never be able to change it. And they can't bring him back on here because it would be illegal. Okay. And I, in fact, like I said, I would encourage you because if you do that, if you bring him back and get him on this network when he's been banned by the company, number one, that all goes into the lawsuit. So that has to be some kind of violation. It's against the law. I mean, if they told you you're banned, right? So what you would be doing would be more criminal activity and it would be illegal. The red triangles just can't seem to give it up and understand and just embrace the concept that you were never anybody. You lost. Like I said, your entire audience was fabricated. You worked at IBM, which then connects the dots for my federal case, which again, I'm taking to Supreme Court and includes every corporation across the entire United States and the world. And again, I am 100% stating what I have already stated, right? So my position is clear as day. You worked for IBM. Okay. Jay Austen, his father worked for IBM when I got set up in Little League when I was a kid. You think that I can't connect the dots and figure out who you people are and that you're all technically connected? You're all Masons. You all sold your soul. These are the type of people that have meetings in red robes at night. You're not fooling anyone. This is why they tried to do what they did, which was a potential sacrifice, meaning what me, when I was a kid, I survived at 12 years old with what they did in that all-star baseball team. I've talked about that. I survived what they did on Michael Dell's field that I think Carly Fiorina allegedly paid them off to do. Okay, that was a targeted, you know what, on me. I survived that as well. So at what point were you people so delusional you started wanting to come online and cross lines and then you're going to start talking to me and having conversations with me behind fake accounts? You don't got no business talking to me. You need to get some confidence in yourself and have some shame. You have some audacity to think that you would ever talk to me, any of you. We ain't got nothing to talk about. We will never talk because, like I said, all of you are afraid to face me because you know what you've done. And like I said, you know who I am, and you know I'm going to always stand up for myself, common sense. And I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel scared about that. I've stood up to everybody. Yeah, I won. I won. I defeated all of you. Like I said, hold your L and walk away and go away. And that's the end of the issue. You understand? Because just go away and then wait for, prison time because that's what time it is. The lawsuit is guaranteed. Like I said, the feds, the FBI, CIA, all of them have no excuse. I'm a public figure. I've laid out the entire blueprint on here publicly. So they can see publicly there's no excuse. They if they need an ear exam, that too, that's their problem. They can hear everything I've explained, every detail of this case. I've named some names. They can investigate it in 2 seconds and figure out all the so-called trolls or people who are affiliated with the red triangles on this network. They have no excuse. So, like I said, these people would have to eventually be arrested and locked up. The question is, how long is it going to take for them to do their job? You feel me? Do I really have to take this to court, bro? Like, really? I really have to take this to Supreme Court and go through all this nonsense. It might not even be a lot, but just I have to really go out my way. Like I said, when you all could just do your job. You see my point here? You see how this country just continues to drop the ball. The system is broken. And like I said, I mean, it's pretty clear they have government ties. If they have ties into corrupt departments, I mean, who's to put it past them that they don't have ties to the FBI and the feds and the CIA? Did you ever think of that? The whole thing with Kennedy had to do with the CIA. He was basically about to dismantle the CIA, and then that's what they did with him. And they used a shellfish, you know what, in the process of what they did. Then they made up a magic, you know what, theory to silence him because he was a real American. I'm gonna be a real American no matter how many enemies surround me. You people can't do anything concerning me, towards me, or with me. You can't lie on my name. You can't say I'm doing things I'm not, or that I would do things I'm not. It's pretty clear I love life, right? It's pretty clear that I'm tough and I stand up to everyone and ain't nobody gonna do nothing towards me. It's pretty clear that I'm a boss and a gangster. So I mean, the truth is that with all your nonsense, you're kind of opening up a lane for me, as you already have, for me to just show the world how gangsta I really am with it. I mean, you got to understand, the man talking about me has taken on the entire government. I was targeted by the government. I was targeted by the military industrial complex before all this, right? They were putting stuff in my food, had people putting stuff in my food. I found out later they had connections to the military, right? Like I said, came down with a government pathogen. It's untraceable, uncurable. I will have it for the rest of my life, and it makes tissue swell. Yeah, and I have to deal with that for the rest of my life, right? Which I'm actually kind of defeating it. I'm figuring out, because I've just defeated everything in my path. I mean, look at what they did to me with their phone calls to Seton Hospital. I've talked about that several times, physically what happened with my stomach and through my abdomen, and yet I'm still here talking to you. I'm still here trying to figure it out and trying to get through this too. And I mean, God told me that this too shall pass. I mean, it's the hardest thing to believe, but I have no choice but to try to have faith and keep moving forward. Because, like I said, I mean, I've been literally fighting for my life for the past, what, 4 or 5 years after these people called Seton Hospital. And again, I know it was the exact same names and people affiliated with Tommy Sotomayor, affiliated with Tone Space, and the voicemails that I have provided on my phone, right? Like Erica Frost and Siobhan Crow and Ashley Wheeler, right? And Dr. Computer Shop. Every single one of these people, right, is actually considered by American law to be a what? Right? It starts with a T, the letter T, right? Like I said, there's clearly no fear over here. I'm going to name all your names legally, publicly, and I'm going to name all your names in court, right? And what you have to understand is you really seriously committed some serious domestic, you know what, acts in this country, okay? And I mean, that's pretty much the highest crime you can commit. Then on top of that, if you can charge one co-conspirator since you all conspired against one man, check this out, how gangsta I am with it. If you can charge one conspirator with a felony, you can charge all of them. That becomes a RICO case. So you're already facing basically allegedly guaranteed, not allegedly, you're facing guaranteed RICO charges basically. So it's going to be a RICO case probably. There may be racketeering involved because of the donation money that y'all throw around with each other, trying to, support each other and basically kiss up to each other. You rub my back, I'll rub yours type mentality, right? Which is coward stuff. But that's what y'all do, right? Just like in person, you're real fake and catty with me and anyone, right? Right? Who you secretly dislike and you wish you could be, right? So, I mean, you got RICO charges right there, and then guess what? You got the ultimate big kahuna, right? Which I mean, I'm sure I have proof of somewhere. I mean, if it's in the channel, I mean, you people could not, hold back. You told me exactly what your intentions were, smart one, which was the worst mistake you could ever make, right? So then it makes it where you all get guaranteed charges for conspiracy to commit what towards me. That's the highest charge you can get. That usually, honestly, usually carries a life sentence, right? Technically, sometimes it even carries worse than that. It's just the truth, right? Because you can't come for me and my life, and it can't be that serious, and then think that the justice system and the judge and the jury is just going to be like, oh, well, we don't care about him either. I mean, if they don't care and they try to give a lenient punishment, then that would mean that they're also Masons and they're also part of it and they're also co conspirators. And they don't want to look like that, right? Because they don't want to go to prison too. So, I mean, you see how you're just developed a case that's like basically a guaranteed win? I can't lose. It's impossible for me to lose. And for anyone to tell you that he can't file a lawsuit, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I could call a lawyer tomorrow. Okay. I just don't feel like it because, like I said, I have better things to do. Right now, let me go ahead and rub my success in your face that you can't handle. You understand? None of this is hypothetical. This is reality. This is all complete how the law works. They cannot twist it. They will not be in control in this case. I will make sure that I'm doing a lot of talking. My lawyer will know everything I've had to say, and I will make sure that you all go to prison for what you have done here because it is inexcusable. I'm merely a normal man. I accessed YouTube and I didn't deserve to go through anything or experience anything. And like I said, don't ever run around bragging and talking like you're tough. You haven't done anything towards me. Everything you tried was cowardly. You are not proud. Let's stop with this fake stuff. Okay? If you were proud, y'all would have been done faced me and had a conversation face to face. These people will never face me. They know they will never come around me. You understand? They have audacity, but not like that. Feel me? Yeah, nobody's going to do all this towards one individual and then think, oh, yeah, I'm going to go talk to him in person too. And it's all good. Come on, homie. That's just common sense. So see, that's the thing. I don't play these fake games. Y'all people all know reality. You know exactly what it is. And like I said, these people have done everything possible for years trying to gain fake leverage, trying to, force conversations with me. I don't talk to y'all. You'll never gain leverage for court. Now you know that for sure. Because, like I said, I won't even open a chat here. We ain't never talking or discussing nothing. Nobody is afraid of Masons, man. Y'all do not own the courtrooms. You don't own anything in this country. You fancy yourself something you're not, and you tell yourself a bunch of delusion. Hey, all them people that just got locked up, I guarantee you they're Masons. Big U, right? The other one, Brick Baby, the fake rapper, right? You just had all this other stuff happen with what's his name? His name? Sauce Walker, whatever. Like that stuff's no surprise. And then you had the other one. You saw what happened with him, the homeboy he was with, who they claim is his artist. It's no surprise. It's not Sun P or whatever the hell his name is. It's no surprise. I don't even know who that is, bro. These are people who are nameless. You know what? Nobody knows any of y'all, bro. That's no surprise, man, because what's happening is the environment. There's more tension in the air in every city. And when you're dealing with Chicago and stuff like that, man, y'all dudes in Chicago, I'm so glad I don't live in Chicago. You can't even go to the corner store in Chicago without there being a problem. Seriously, without it being that serious. You can't even walk to a corner store or a 7-Eleven without, running the risk of you don't know what the hell might happen. I don't have those issues. Thank God. Glory to God, right? And I mean, I'm not saying that I couldn't come out of it because I'm one tough dude and I know how to mind my business, and nobody scares me. But I'm just saying I've been in environments like that. I mean, Atlanta is arguably worse than Chicago. It's just Chicago is more about territory and like gangland. That's so it's different because you can't walk down certain blocks. I know how Chicago works. It's just Chicago is a joke. Like I said, that's your future. That's the future of the millennials, which is no future. That's the future of all them Chirac, you know what, blah, 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 that aren't savages, like little Reese, right? That's the future for them. That's not only the future, that's been their past and present. Modern day slavery and doing it to each other and having every example of them being a coward. Now, I want to ask people again, is there any video of me online ever in the history of man in the 35 years I've walked this planet where I look like a coward? Or where I've backed down or where I've taken an L or anybody's done anything to me in any way, shape, or form? Is there even one video of me ever going through that. And I've traveled all over the nation. I was in Green Bay backing down dudes from Chicago who were in vehicles and I was on foot. They were like 6 to 8 deep and had them running away from me. I was screaming on dudes from Chicago in the job market in restaurants while I was doing dishes, backing them down and telling the boss straight up, homie's delusional, get him the hell out of here away from me. I'm not going to work around some dude like that, period. And that makes sense, right? If I'm in my right mind and I work harder than anyone, I should be able to have that leeway, right? And then them companies, what they did is illegal too, because they slandered my name with you red triangles and tried to create lies and excuses and couldn't even come up with a simple answer as to why, oh, you want to basically try to like almost ban me from working from with the company for what purpose? Because I make internet videos? Who did that bright idea and who let that go through the system and said because he talks on the internet, the man has no issue with his rhetoric or how he speaks and can back up every point that it's a fact and the truth. And you said somebody put that through the system and said, yeah, he can never work for this restaurant again. I'm willing to guarantee you that I will be able to work for any of those establishments if I want to in the future at any point. Because when this federal case gets brought up, guess what? They get sued too. So there's so many lawsuits coming. I'm suing restaurants already. So what y'all don't understand, when I'm talking about doing food reviews and restaurant reviews, I'm talking about I'm the real deal. You all have created an entire career and new lane and a new career field for me through this. Do you understand that? Because I have the ability that when I walk into any restaurant now or an establishment, because my history, because I've been the anchor for restaurants, I have run restaurants myself and food trucks. So that's like I've done like everything, bro. Like I've done catering, I've done like where I've done bar backing, I've done where I provide like all the fruit and get everything ready in bars all over 6th Street, all over West 6, all over Rainy. I have a lot of history with bars and restaurants. So when I walk into a restaurant now, people should be on their P's and Q's and pay attention because I'm not part of no agency, no nothing like that. But I am a person with a public voice and I am a public figure, right? Who actually has a name in the restaurant game. Seriously, I've run my own and I was more successful with it than anyone has ever been. That's the truth. And I have documents and every receipt to prove it. Okay. So, what that means is when I walk into a restaurant now, people should honestly be concerned and worried, right? If they're not doing their job right. Because yeah, I have the full ability to go public and say this individual is not doing their job, this individual is not doing their job, this individual is on the clock and they're on their phone. I have the ability to do that. Nobody can tell me I can't because I have the ability to speak publicly. I'm a citizen. I have a right to my opinion and I have a right to say, okay, this is what I'm seeing when I'm in this place and this is not right. That's all. I'm just a civilian who's able to give his opinion, but see, it carries a lot more weight because of who I am in my history. Like I said, you can look me up. Like I said, Green Bay up there with everything I did with Dave and Buster's, all that fake stuff y'all tried to pull, all that stuff was fake. Like I said, I did everything right in every instance. I stand on it and I prove that the entire Green Bay department is corrupt. Yep, and there's a lawsuit coming for that as well. And they're going to have to probably pay me my money back, which is like 800 something dollars of hardworking money of me washing dishes. If you go look at that Dave and Buster's, I had perfect reviews for dishes every single day, week, month, the whole year. Every day people were like, man, the dishes are like spotless. And like I'm talking about they would make it harder and harder on me and they would leave more and more. And that's why I walked out one day and just said, nah, bro, I'm a human being. Like forget y'all. Right? Makes perfect sense. And because he started playing with the wage, and for a while he was getting the wage right. So I was able to make my money to make a living and invest and take care of myself, right? I was doing very well financially, right? I always am, but I'm talking about with cash too, on top of everything with the equity and all that, right? So I'm doing great at that time, right? I got the investments. And then he pulls a whole nother act, which like I said, who do you think that came from? If they was corrupt and y'all just tried to set me up and I had the heart to keep going and keep working, okay, then I mean, who's to say? I mean, they clearly talked to him, right? The guy who's in the office every day, Mr. Chunk Chunks, right? So, like I said, he wasn't fooling nobody. He wasn't on my side either. He was another narc trying to use people like a chess piece. And he wanted to play innocent and coy when you were a complete part of this. You allowed it to happen that day, right? You want to sit there and play games, but you allowed that to happen like everything else, just like that other fool who's a coward, and I proved it. I can't remember his name off top, but y'all know who I'm talking about that was acting like he was the manager, the other biggin. Yeah, and all y'all do is sit there. I mean, do you want me to expose your secrets and the truth? Because I can. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm already taking you to court. I'm filing a lawsuit on all those establishments, including Dave and Buster's. Yes, because everything that you were doing made no sense, bro. And by the way, they don't even work. They just sit there. I was the one who did everything. Homeboy wasn't working. He was in there buying like little trinkets and stuff for wherever he was at every day, bro. That's not a manager, bro, coming out with like little like Nerf stuff. Like what is that, bro? That's not working. None of them dudes worked. So what is that? Like why does he deserve to do that in my country? And you can see what group he belongs to. You see my problem and my issue? But yet their group's always complaining about they don't have equal rights. Oh, something about their civil liberties. Oh, they're being targeted. Oh, this and that. But I'm the man who got targeted. So I'm a living example. All you've done is prove my point right, that everything I said is a fact. So if an establishment like that restaurant tries to say you can't work for us anymore, that's completely wrong and incorrect and a crime. Proven. Because everything I've ever said and stood on was me saying the issues and what my job is supposed to be to break down the actual facts to you, no matter whether you want to hear it or not or how you like it, and say the actual truth, completely raw and uncut. Yes, so I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing I'm not supposed to, but Tommy Sotomayor sure did a lot he wasn't supposed to. Like I said, I mean, I'm you don't see me on them shows going through what he went through. Like you saw what he went through with that woman on that show. Yeah, because she wasn't having what he was talking about. And her whole thing was she's like me and any normal person. She said, no, you're not gonna lie on me. That's all it was about. You can't just run around lying on people in front of their face and trying to talk smack in front of their face and not expect them to stand up and do nothing. That's common sense, bro. But see, narcs like that, they don't understand that. That's like people in my past, right? Like I said, like everybody has learned the same lesson. You can't run around and then mess people over right in front of their face and then expect them to not do anything about it. It's common sense. People go and defend themselves and they have every right to, correct? So I don't know what they talking about. You feel me? Hold on. And these people silly as hell, man. Like I said, all y'all do is nothing. All y'all do is bluff. All y'all do is fake, and all y'all do is basically telling yourself and expose yourself. And you just gotta understand, man. You Masons already lost. You already got defeated, man. I don't care what you listen to. I don't care what you gang stalk. I don't care what you do. Like I said, you're all tucking your tail between your legs and you're running. Every single one of you. What I do is very real, man. Don't get it misconstrued or confused or think it ain't like that, bro. Like I said, I can take on anyone. That means any illegal organization, any so-called mob, because like I said, none of them are the mob. All of y'all are fake. And like I said, I'm just one man, bro. I don't use connections. I don't have connections. I don't stand with no one. I'm always by myself. I'm completely alienated. I hold my own dolo, and I do that for a reason. And I knew that there was a reason why you have to be like me and be a lone wolf in these streets and in reality, because when you got ties to organizations like that, look what they just did to the Rolling 60s. They just cleaned them completely up. They just took them off the streets, all of them legally. They about to lock all of them up. All of them already are locked up, half of them. There's probably a lot more to go. And then they talk about Rainwaters next. Then I looked into it for 2 seconds and figured out Mo three's manager was Rainwater. So what does that mean? Are you accusing him basically that he had something to do with it? Allegedly? That's what I guess they're saying. Or he snitched or something? Because I mean, he's of course going to try to play it off that he's concerned and more in mourning and feel sorry about the thing with Mo three. I mean, this was a long time ago. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but who knows? I don't know that case, so I can't say that, and I wouldn't say that. But that's what the internet is already trying to say. I heard people already say, "Oh, Rainwater's next. Why is he next? Does he have affiliations with the Rolling 60s?" WAC 100 is definitely a federal informant. We already knew that. We know Adam 22 is, and they're saying that Adam 22 potentially may be facing charges as well, which is common sense, as well as Rick Ross and all them other informants like Meat Mill and all them people. Well, no, duh. It's all connected. This system has been preying on rappers and people forever. Like I said, I can prove in a court of law in 2 seconds what they did to Maserati Fox and that Rick Ross had everything to do with that. So why is he not in prison already? Y'all didn't care about it when it happened to Maserati Fox. Why does it have to be these new name people who are nobody? Mo3's irrelevant. Nobody cared about him talking about, oh, his music, this and that. I mean, he is all right, I guess. I never listened to one track of his in my entire life. Never knew who he was, never cared. I'm just being honest. People who are real street dudes, they don't know who Mo3 is. They don't know who Yellow Beezy is. I'm a real street dude. I could tell you what we listen to. We don't know none of these people, bro. We don't know the Rolling 60s. The Rolling 60s was a derivative of young dudes, right? Who it's all a joke basically and all some fake stuff. It was never real. It was never designed to be real. It was a new generation. So like I said, man, you people just be like on some funny style stuff, bro, all around, homie. Feel me? All of it. It all be funny as hell with this silliness. Straight up silliness. So yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, right, we gonna keep on winning. We gonna keep on doing what we do. That's about it, really. You know what I mean? I don't care what none of y'all talking about. You feel me? Like I said, my whole point is Rolling 60s. Like I said, what did you hear about the Rolling 60s? Nobody cared about the Rolling 60s. The Rolling 60s was a derivative group. Okay. When I say derivative, I'm saying they stemmed off of what was the real thing back in the day. They didn't, I'm not even gonna say that. They not derivative of what's real, they're derivative of what's fake. They all false flagging and false flogging. Wasn't none of them real, wasn't none of them anybody, didn't nobody care about none of them like at all, bro. You feel me? And like I'm gonna say something too publicly, man. Any of you people, like I said, if you feel like playing games with me or whatever, please be my guest, bro. Because I literally have like concrete evidence. I have things that all you people have done that I know is illegal, and the stuff you do, it's just crazy. The audacity that people have. Like straight up, bro. I'm not backing down to none of you, bro. Like straight up, bro. Like I know what y'all on. I know y'all on some coward stuff. You always have been. Like you people don't seem to understand who I am. That's crazy, man. See, that's the thing. Like I be walking in places and people think like they're gonna play with me. Like, bro, y'all people really got reality misconstrued, little homie. Like straight up, bro. Y'all be really thinking you on something and like you like they try to act like they all talking like we all believe they fake stuff. Like you should ask about me and figure out who I am first, bro. I've done my thing all over the nation and the world. I don't got nothing to prove. You know about me. I don't care who you are. You know about me. You heard about me. Real talk. All this acting like, oh yeah, he's soft and something to play with. Not at all, homie. You got me completely misconstrued. It's called following the rules and trying to be nice and go about things the right way calmly because all y'all isn't some snitches. We already know what y'all on. Like I said, that's what they all want. Like I said, I would never give y'all what you want, but I'm gonna stand up for myself, and y'all ain't gonna be coming around to acting weird. I'll tell you that right now. I don't care who you is. I don't know who y'all are. Feel me? Don't come near me on some nonsense, bro. None of y'all. I'm telling you right now. You understand? We ain't playing no games at all. We ain't talking nothing. None of you. I don't care who you is. That's number one. So now we got that established, right? Next topic, like I said, the Rolling 60s was all for the fake stuff. That's all a fake derivative. Rolling 60s is nobody. I'll say that comfortably, bro. I ain't worried about nobody from Chicago. I ain't worried about nobody from Cali, man. Talking about, oh, yeah, it's something in the water and the air in Chicago. No, Chicago is just full of ignorance. This is what happens when you take a people's culture and replace it with ignorance. This is the result that you get. It's kind of common sense. You understand? It's not out of the picture. It's not out of the loop. It's not new. It's exactly what happens when you, like I said, and this proves that my radio arguments have been true since day one. So if everything I've said has been true and 100% official tissue, how would anybody think like I said, how would that go into that restaurant thing? Like I said, why were they listening to the Red Triangles? Because they're all corrupt and they're all part of an illegal organization. When y'all got that chunky dude who was the manager, who, like I said, one day was talking about, don't come at me. I'll do what I want and say what I want, bro. Like you're a nobody, bro. You represent corruption. Like I said, you was a fake manager. Like who is you, bro? What do you mean? I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm a grown man, bro. You got no business micromanaging and come over and telling me nothing when you're nobody. That's the facts. You're nobody, bro. You make slave wage like everybody, bro. You're just another wage slave who takes orders, right? And like I said, the fact is, you might end up doing jail time behind what you did because y'all lied on my name, because you had no excuse to say, oh, he can't whatever work here no more. Why not? I was your best employee. I was the best employee everywhere I was. When y'all pulled your act at Dizzy Rooster, the literal manager, Jermaine, who comes from that culture that you claimed I was talking about and saying anything about, which is a complete lie, right? Because what I was saying was the truth. It was never towards anyone specifically, right? I said the truth on everything. And he even said, he said, no, like, you're our best worker we've ever had. And he even told the owner, like, nah, bro, you need to keep him with us because he's literally the best employee we've ever had. All Jermaine had to say was positive stuff about me. So you have to explain that in court. You have to explain in court. These restaurants are going to have to bring a representative, whether they like it or not, and explain why they said that they tried to ban me from these restaurants. As far I can go there, but as far as working there, and why you would think that you have the power to do that. Like, who the hell are you? And why would you go out your way to do that anyway? Like I said, the fact is, I was supposed to be making more money. I was supposed to get some kind of guaranteed bonus or something, if you don't remember, and y'all did that on purpose to get out of that. So it was a matter of paying me. That's why they did that. You see what I'm saying? Because the companies and the corporations are all broke, just like they always are. So because they don't make money and they drop the ball, I'm supposed to suffer and struggle? Not at all. Not at all, bro. Not going down like that. So, like I said, I'll be seeing everybody in court. Like I said, that includes the restaurants, the establishments. That probably means I'll list them for you right now. That's probably Dave and Buster's. There's more than likely going to be a lawsuit with that, right? Then you've got that pizza place that I can't remember up there in Green Bay. That probably will be a lawsuit. Then you've got Longhorn Steakhouse up there in Green Bay. Same thing, probably will be a lawsuit. Then you've got even the Oneida Steakhouse. That's guaranteed to be a lawsuit because their smart self wanted to sit there and actually allow you all, right? You know exactly what y'all did. Y'all tried to strong arm and you told them, if you don't fire him, blah blah blah, we'll go public. And y'all were saying you were going to write like bad reviews on their website or something. Remember that? Remember? You thought that was smart? You thought that was a smart decision? Bro, that's a felony, bro. That carries like serious prison time, bro. And guess what? For them to allow you to do that and allow themselves, because they weren't even intimidated, they were just narcs like you. So he would make it up an excuse, right? And his excuse was, he was saying, oh, you're bringing your own whatever independent issues, your own drama in here. Not at all. I never did that. I was standing up for myself against all y'all, and I literally had to tell him one day, because he would just talk delusion and say that things weren't happening, that weren't there. He would say that parts of the floor and stuff weren't clean when they were. He was completely delusional, right? So he was out of his mind, and he was working with y'all, and I can prove it in court. Yep. So all that acting nice stuff, you can go ahead and miss me with that, bro, because that dude, that individual, like I said, I let nothing go, bro. I forget nothing, man. People who try to violate me, you're gonna lose every time, bro. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may be 40 years from now, but you're going to lose dealing with me. Trust me. I don't let nobody violate me in any way, shape, or form. That means verbally anything. People need to watch what they say to me. I'm not the one. I'm a real gangster. So, like I said, at the end of the day, my whole deal is I'm going to file a lawsuit on that company, right? And I'm going to be able to prove it all. So then what? Because either way, they got to hold y'all accountable for what you were telling the company, because those are called empty statements of illegal, you know what, right? So then on top of that, right, what happens with everything else? I mean, I'm going to expose the fact that he was in on it with y'all, right? And he participated in that. Come on, bro. I mean, how are you going to not help a guy that I had nowhere to go out there in Green Bay, nowhere? And literally, this insane lady would sit there and dump me out in the middle of nowhere in the street at night, knowing I had work the next morning, and I'd have to basically work like a zombie to the point of I'm so sleep deprived I'm about to literally like fall out, and I'm so strong I would still get through that day. And they kept doing this repetitively to me. Okay. And I was so strong. I kept working and kept on making my money and kept on making my checks, and I kept working. I literally was the best employee at that steakhouse. I was the best person at cleaning. I did my job extremely well. And that dude was nothing but like would make complaints and sit there and whine and make up stuff. And everything was just to sit there and mess with me. And it's like, dude, there's not even no need to do that, because this is just a job I'm doing along the way, getting where I'm going. So what's your excuse, number one, for just being like a stickler about everything for no reason and not making no sense? You know what I mean? That's what they do. They try to talk down to you like, oh, like you're slow, but he's slow. That's why he can't even run a proper steakhouse, bro. Let's get real, man. Like that place was not number one in anything, bro. The place was a joke, man. And the chemicals that you were using for the little side railings, like, yeah, bro, that stuff is not non-toxic. So please miss me with what you're talking about, bro. Literally, I couldn't even get near that stuff, bro, without reacting. And my reactions from my body, from what I went through, they tell me whether something is like has those traits or problems or not. So my point is, you had me doing that right on the railings and stuff. That's a restaurant, bro. You handling food. You got customers sitting down eating. Like if they touch the rail, they got that stuff on their hands, bro. That ain't right. You see what I'm saying? And like I told this dude that I told this dude all of that, bro. Like I stand up for people, I protect people. Like it's just wrong, bro. It's wrong to run a business the way you do. You know what I mean? Straight up, bro. And like you act like it's so serious, like, bro, like are you a dictator or like are you trying to run a restaurant? That's why your business failed every time. Your sinks made absolutely no sense, by the way. You should redesign those. Everything you did made no sense. Everything you did was the hard way when it's very easy and it's a simple process. I could run a restaurant 8 million times better than this dude and anyone else. I'm just being honest, bro. It's common sense. So like I said, you got a lawsuit with that, you got a lawsuit with the pizza joint, you got a lawsuit with Longhorn Steakhouse, you got a lawsuit with Dave and Buster's. Who else? Who else? Like I said, anyone else who starts running their mouth and starts coming at their mouth with my name or trying to approach me and give me a hard time or treat me some way when I'm a grown man, you talk to a grown man with respect, right? Anyone who does that, guess what? Lawsuit. Straight up. I'm not going to play these games, bro. I'm telling you right now. So, like I said, like people are going to learn, like to stay away from me and keep my name out their mouth. Just like I said, I assure you, bro. I have a lot of power, bro. Y'all vastly underestimate me, man. You understand? So that's just lawsuits. That's just within Green Bay, and most of it's on Oneida Street because that's the strip that I basically took over and ran, and I ended up working everywhere out there and carrying all the restaurants on my back. So, like I said, I took over Green Bay. You feel me? So what's up? I don't care about Green Bay. You understand? Me and Christina, like, I mean, if we ever go to Green Bay, it'll be for like a Packers game. I mean, I'm the king out there. I mean, it is what it is, but that's not one of our goals. We don't care about Green Bay. You can have it. The entire department's corrupt. Everybody knows it. I mean, come on, bro. Those people I stayed with, they said they had experiences with them. I mean, like, come on, bro. Like, that's not cool. Nobody wants to be in an environment like that. Like, that's my question to people like that. Like, why do you put up with it? And then it's like they were the same way, so that's why. And I stood up to them too. And I got the best of them too. Like, nah, bro, you're not going to treat me any kind of way and then expect me to just be cool and go along with it. So I got out and that was it. And I just left and, left them to do whatever. You know what I mean? I don't care about them. I don't care how they feel. Not at all. Oh, and they were getting what they deserved anyway, because I heard like one of their relatives got into some huge, you know what? Yeah, like straight up, like with a car or something like that. Yeah. And then like they went to like prison or something like that. And it's like, well, why do you think these things are happening? It's called bad karma because that's what you're creating, like with how you're treating your tenant, the way they treated me. I mean, it's enough that you have me in a basement. You know what I mean? I mean, that's enough right there. But I mean, I liked being down there. That wasn't the issue. But then just the fact of the way you treated me, and then you're like, oh, well, first it's that's what they do. They change things. So first it's, oh yeah, you can eat the food, have whatever you want. Then it's, oh, you better not be eating my stuff when it comes to the other sister or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like this is what they do. They play these games and I just don't play these games. Like when you say something is one way, that's it. And that was the same thing with these people here. It's the same thing. Like one guy I talk to, he's nice. I talk about something. We come to a conclusion. We come to an agreement. No problem. You understand? I'm already telling you what I'm doing. I'm out. I'm going to do my own thing. You know what I mean? And then you got, like I said, other people approaching me. That's a felony, bro. It's a crime. You got no business approaching me at all, bro, if I already had a conversation with somebody. So whatever conclusion we came to with that, that's it. You don't get to go change that, much less tell a grown man what to do. What and why are you following me around like you running anything? I don't need your help to do nothing. You understand? Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's just all like completely against my intelligence. Like I don't have time for that, bro. I don't play these games, bro. Like I said, it's okay because, like, trust me, everybody's gonna realize this real quick, as if they don't already know. They already know, bro. Nah, bro, you don't understand. Like, I have the power to go on like a legal tirade. Like, a tirade means like just not stop with like pure power, with justice and righteousness. Like, nah, bro, you don't understand. I can talk. And when I talk, right, it can bring a lot of effective results. Like I said, I can already think of one dude off top that, like I said, the red triangles. I know you issued him some form of little payment. with your little money that you can't afford a hot dog with, right? To pretend that he fired me. I'm pretty sure he lost both jobs. Okay. So that's an example right there. And I talked about it and I exposed it publicly. And then people around those same areas in those establishments, they actually say right there that, yeah, people were trying to slander the Batman. So people know a little bit of what you were doing. Why? Because they listen to the channel and they hear me talk about it publicly. And I talked about you and I called you out publicly and you backed down, right? You back down every which way but sundown. Everybody knows that about you. So everybody sees you as a coward. So you can't even come around no more. Let's just get real. That's the truth. I don't be seeing that fool. Right. And that's exactly what I said. Like, nah, bro, like you should, you got to, take that somewhere else, bro. Straight up. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care where you go, but get out of here. Real talk. Like, move, go somewhere else. You're gonna have to move somewhere else. You feel me? That's exactly what happened, obviously. I ain't seen that fool nowhere, bro. And trust me, like he's terrified of me. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I mean, that's what happens when when you got people playing these internet games and they making their phone calls and calling people and telling them, "Oh yeah, you'll get away with saying this to them," but they don't care about you. They don't know how I'm going to react. You know what I mean? They don't know me. They don't know nothing about me. And if anything, they know that I don't tolerate disrespect. So they putting you, some stranger, in a bad situation out the gate, and you the one who's not smart enough that you take their bait. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, I won that whole thing. I mean, what else? I mean, pretty much all of them. I mean, they all lost their job. Actually, all of them. All of them are like had to go somewhere else, bro. Like everything is new now. Everything is brand new with better people. You feel me? So it's like, I mean, right there, I can name that's about hell, at least probably 5 people offhand that lost their job playing games with me. Yeah, like lost their whole career, everything, bro. They probably lost a whole lot more than that because I'm walking karma. Like I said, the restaurants like Dave and Buster's, they all declined and went downhill after I left. I know that for a fact because they didn't have anyone who could do dishes like me. And that's what I told Homeboy. He tried to get on there with his narc talk, and I told him straight up reality. I was on the phone right there. He tried to say, "Oh, yeah, it's no big deal. We'll just get somebody else to do it." And I said, "You don't have anyone else to do it, smart one. What are you talking about, Billy?" Right? I said, "Everything you say is a lie." And I stood up to him and told him what it was. And he backed down too. He's another coward. Another one. Another one scared of me. Let's get real. That's what happened. So, like I said, I mean, I proved that everybody in Green Bay was a coward. I mean, like I said, that dude, I'm pretty sure he ended up losing his management job just because of karma. I'd be willing to bet you. Right? So, right off top, I already said that's like 5 people lost their job playing games with me just because they were jealous of me and my social media and my YouTube channel. But my YouTube channel shouldn't have nothing to do with you affecting your own job. You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that serious that you're that envious that it becomes that much of an issue for you. You understand me? But this is what people do to themselves because they're so upset because they look at my channel and they see, oh, he's had money. Oh, he's lived the life. I mean, he's still, rich in equity. He's still wealthy. He's still making it. And they just want to compete with me because they know I made it. I've done the thing. My life was beautiful and amazing. Yeah. So, like I said, don't ever say some silly stuff like that again, man. My life has always been beautiful. You're talking about what you got going on. You were talking about you said something about my life. First of all, you don't ever talk about nobody's life. That's one rule you need to learn. And number two, much less about mine. I don't put up with that. And mine is beautiful. What are you talking about? Well, look at you and what you got going on. Nothing. You lost a rinky dink jobs, right? 2 of them. You were working to barely get by and try to support yourself or whatever, right? And you still don't have nothing and you're broke and you're a moocher. So what are you talking about? You feel me? Come on, bro. I mean, end of the day, you're nobody, bro, and you's a renter. You'll never own anything. You'll never have anything. Like I said, you don't know nothing about actually paying land taxes. I do. You don't know nothing about paying bills, having receipts for everything. I got documentation for everything, bro, for years, bro. I'm a boss. I'm a real man. You know how hard that is? So what are you going to tell me? Exactly nothing, bro. Keep my name out your mouth. That was silly for him to ever say something like that. That was crazy. Like I said, he got G checked in person and backed down. Yeah, in front of everybody. You understand? Like I said, everybody knows, bro. I mean, all you did was help me. See, that's the thing. People be trying to do their little humiliation rituals too and stuff, and all it's done is make me epic and more of a legend. You feel me? So like I said, I mean, right there you can see I'm walking karma. That's just a small taste of it. And then, like I said, you got all that other stuff with the corrupt ones in Green Bay. I mean, I've just been seeing the news. I mean, with them getting karma for decades. I mean, that'll never stop. That's just common sense, and that's them doing it to themselves. All that stuff is what people do to themselves. Just like homeboy lost his job because of himself. All those people he was affiliated with lost their job because of themselves, right? Like I said, you want to sit there and big up people and say, "Oh, they got so much money." Okay, then why are they always in prison for drugs? Just saying. I'm supposed to care. I'm supposed to be scared of them. That's the same dude. The dude you're talking about, bro, I can name on here, bro. Like, are you sure you want to get cute with me? I can name his name on here, bro. I went to high school with him, man. He was always on something, bro. And he was saying some crazy stuff one day about a basketball game and trying to get me like I'm supposed to be scared, like I'm not going to go to my own basketball game. I went and had the best game ever and was looking at him like, yeah, you a coward. Y'all been the same haters since day one, bro. They was the same people in high school. Boy, miss me with what you talking about. Y'all ain't nobody out here. I run all this. Straight up. This is my land. I run this. You understand? And that's why I run it right and I care about people and I take care of everybody. I'm a good person. Anybody going against me, you're gonna lose. Straight up. That's just reality. So like I said, got the best of all them. Completely won that. And like I said, you remember I got my check and everything. Like I said, they tried to leave me stranded in Austin and stuff. I figured all that out, got my money. Everything worked out, man, because God is good. Same thing. Then I went to the church thing a little later, right? Like I said, they tried to leave me stranded in Kentucky, got me a ticket for like $400 to get back. I mean, come on, bro. You can't be serious, man. This is what I do, bro. I can guarantee you that ministry, I mean, they're getting their karma every day. I mean, they've already lost a ton of people as far as the ministry. They got different guys now because they can't keep anyone because they got the main dudes trying to be manipulators and they're narcissists. I mean, you need people like me to be running that stuff. That entire ministry home I should be in charge of. I'm who can help people. I who would actually enjoy the experience and would have fun with people, and it would be a good experience for everyone, and we would have fun. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you what, man. When Christina gets down here, you know, if God gives me my blessings, God willing, because I don't expect nothing. I don't demand anything. I don't think anything is guaranteed necessarily. But the only reason I feel it's guaranteed is because I believe in God's promises to me. You know, I feel it's guaranteed in that sense, but I'm just saying I don't demand or expect anything, but my whole point is, um, I mean, I believe in Christina and I believe in God 100% with every fiber of my being. I would gladly put my life in Christina's hands. Seriously, right now. I trust her. You understand? So it's like when Christina gets here, like I said, what do you think is one of the first things I'm going to probably talk about and focus on too with her? That, the ministry thing. You can open your own ministry home, bro. That's what y'all don't get. You don't have to, I don't think you have to graduate their little program to do it. I mean, I know you don't if you got money. If you got money, you could just do it yourself and you could be independent too. You see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like that might be something we end up doing. That would be fun for her and I. We don't always have to be there either. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to be in the house, but that way I can make sure it's run right. And if anybody does anything slightly wrong, guess what? You're fired and that's it. You lose your job. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're a pastor or whatever. I don't care how long you've been with the program, whatever. The minute you start treating people in any kind of way, I find out like you got to go find another job or another ministry to work for because nobody's going to take you anyway. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like people like Raul, bro, like people who are demonically possessed. He's possessed, literally. They got possessed people running around that ministry home, bro. He would stop in front of me standing, his eyes would change, bro. Y'all think I'm joking about this, man. This dude was possessed, bro, in front of me, and the demons looked at me twice in there. I had two supernatural experiences with demons inside of people. Homeboy looked at me and stopped and stared at me, and his eyes changed, literally like glazed over like a demon. Okay. And they would just stop and stare at me, showing me like the devil was showing itself like that. Here I am. This is how much of a gift I have that I actually create like what do they call it? Exorcisms without trying. That's what y'all don't understand. I exorcise demons, bro, without trying with my presence. I come from the literal bloodline and DNA of Jesus himself, bro. You people are funny as hell to be playing with me, bro. Do you have any clue who you're dealing with, bro? You're dealing with the real Messiah, bro. There is no answer for me. That's what you don't get. So, like I said, if you haven't figured that out by now with all the evidence and years of people throwing everything they can at me and trying to stop me, I give up, man. I'm really, really the divine one. I'm the chosen one. There's only one chosen one on this planet. It's me. You understand? So you know, like I said, my whole deal is it happened with him, and then it happened with that Mark dude, the Mark that's constantly within that Bible stuff. He just keeps redoing it and redoing it. That dude is a grown man. He has kids. He refuses to take care of them. He won't do anything for any of his family. And he's sitting there talking about it in front of us. And I'm like, aren't you answering your own question? You know what I mean? He's like, why am I here? Well, that's a great question. Why are you here? Like, why don't you go ahead and, go actually do your job and be a parent and be a good person? But he's just a horrible human being, and he said it himself. So I mean, he did the same thing in front of me. He sat across from me, right? Was it at that time or another time? I don't know. It was several times he just looked at me like real evil. I think it was two experiences with him that I could tell he was possessed several times, even in church. And I mean, this dude was so weird in church. He would do it in front of you, letting you know. So we'd be praying, and he would start saying like demonic stuff, and he would claim to be so religious and all about God, but yet the pastor would say something like that. When you say the word of God or whatever, that demons flee, and he'd sit there and be like, "No, we don't." Like, you don't play like that, man. And I just know it wasn't a joke or a game. You get what I'm saying? It was something that was very real, right? And it was something that he was really possessed. So like it was a natural response. It wasn't no fake stuff. He wasn't faking that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, at the end of the day, you just got to understand. I mean, I've been walking karma for everyone, man. I mean, like I said, all that went downhill when I left. I mean, to think that they haven't gone through massive karma is unreal. I mean, Miguel don't even talk no more. He doesn't even say anything. So I mean, I can wonder why. And like I said, they know they're guilty of theft. They owe me a laptop. They owe me my diamond rings. They owe me all the stuff that I had on me when I came in that house, which was quite a few different things. And some of them I needed like for me, for me being Batman, and so it's like, they owe me money. You understand that pastor, he could say whatever. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about him. I mean, like I said, all these are examples of reality and justice and karma. All of them. Him, that other lady, Geneva, all of those people. I can guarantee all those people are going through severe karma because every move they were making was wrong. And I think they were sending Geneva out to that same shelter that I went to right in Lexington. I have to walk 3 hours from the racetrack that uses forced slave labor, taking advantage of people, right? And I walked 3 hours, went to that shelter in Lexington, and like I said, I think they were sending Geneva out there because somebody was telling me that some lady like her was coming up and asking them. So they were trying to recruit and bring people back to Texas. How evil is that? How does that even make sense? So y'all just like completely take advantage of people. You know what I mean? Well, literally, I was there. Like that doesn't even make sense. Like, how you going to try to recruit people to go back to Texas? But like I said, you have every ability to get me back to Texas, but they refused to do so, and then tried to make a chicken, you know what excuse? Right there, that's a lawsuit on that ministry. Yeah, you could sue a ministry. You could sue pretty much just about anybody if you want to be realistic. So, I mean, end of the day, I mean, it just is what it is. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not going to change. You know what I mean? And it's pretty self-explanatory. Feel me? So I mean, like I said, end of the day, I mean, how many more examples do you really need? This is just like in high school. I mean, even in colleges, man. I mean, I've seen karma come from every single angle. I've seen karma come when it doesn't matter who it is. I've seen karma come for every different person, bro. I've seen it come for millions of people, bro. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they just kind of live out their karma for years and decades. You know what I mean? I see it on YouTube. I mean, you see the karma coming on here. You know what I mean? I mean, literally, and like, I saw an image the other day. It said like, this is what God is going to do to your enemies, and that's pretty much what's been happening. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to really take into account and understand. I mean, the whole world just looks like it's falling apart because all these people are finally getting their karma. And what did I predict ahead of time? I called it what? A karmic storm. That's what's happening right now. And you're just barely getting towards the eye of the storm. I don't even think you're there yet. Well, there's a lot more that's going to happen. It's pretty obvious. So all those rappers, they're all getting what they deserve. They're not good people. They sold their soul to the devil, and their little hip hop concerts are literal demonic rituals, and they're making sacrifices. So I mean, it's common sense you would get what you deserve. The fact is, you know, we see this stuff. I mean, what do you expect? People to feel sorry for you? People don't feel sorry for evil people getting what they deserve. They just don't, unless something's wrong with them and they're evil too. You're not supposed to feel sorry for evil people getting what they deserve. They chose that route. They chose to do it to themselves. I don't care about you rappers. I'm sorry, I don't. I care about everyone, you know what I mean? Like I'll pray for you, but I mean, like I said, you're evil. I mean, there's really no point in doing so. Evil people get what they got coming. That's the way of the world. That's how it needs to be. It's how it's supposed to be. So I mean, this stuff with like Sauce Walka and all them. I don't even know who Sauce Walka is, man. I heard his name. He's another dude looking for fake clout, and that's how y'all literally live. Like they live like they never seen money ever in their life. Like they literally is more about money than they own freedom. Like how you gonna chase bands and talk about racks, but never have your freedom to be able to enjoy your money? That's just silly, man. They all living on a whim, living on a living on a prayer. But how you gonna live on a prayer without God? You feel me? I mean, like I said, I see everything, man. I'm paying attention to everything, man. I don't really go into the names too much because I don't like talking about it. You feel me? It's every day, man. Stuff like that happens every day, bro. I saw the thing with George Foreman with the boxer. I saw all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just every day, man. It's every day. It is what it is. So I mean, it's like at this point, like I said, what do you have to lose in the first place? I mean, you know, it's everybody, man. Everybody's going through something, especially the evil people. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everything is karma. Some of it is just what it is and just natural, probably. But I mean, a lot of it is karma. My whole point is, what does any of us have to lose then? I mean, if this is what's happening worldwide, what would we have to lose? That's why I don't understand why you people want to get online and play games. Bro, I'm 35. Okay. Like what I've been through, I shouldn't even be able to talk to you. Every day is a miracle for me. You understand? I'm just eternally grateful that I'm still here. I'm eternally grateful that I got God with me, protecting me, and that He loves me and He looks over me and that He wants to bless me. You feel me? Like I said, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. I basically have every opportunity now. Like I'm getting everything going. I ain't worried about y'all. I'm not gonna say it's all easy or that I don't struggle. Sure, I struggle. Sure, I got problems. I got issues. I got tons of stuff to do. But let's like I'm putting myself in a better position overall. You know what I mean? I'm still dealing with things that are very hard for me when they shouldn't have to be, but they just are. Like I said, I do everything on my own. I don't depend on none of y'all. I don't turn to none of y'all, and I for sure don't ask or beg for nothing. I don't know what you talk about, man. I make all my own income, all my own money. I do my own thing. I get my own bread. I run my own ship. I run my own companies. Like I do my own thing, man. Feel me? Like I said, the next check is already almost to $50. How you like me now? How does that make you feel? Right? That's just the next check. Like I said, we stay consistently making bread on here. You see my views is out of this world. Put up a video, is short within 2 seconds. It did like almost 500 views again. Right? The other one was doing almost like 200. This was within seconds, bro. You know what I mean? I got to look again and see where the other one is at. So I mean, we stay winning over here. I don't know how y'all do things, but we stay winning over here. Batman don't play no games. We stay winning, legitly, literally, and that's all we do is take W's and win. You feel me? So like I said, the whole thing is now I'm doing actual full restaurant reviews. Okay. So if you don't understand what that means, well, that ain't my problem. Okay. You better get educated quick because I'm gonna tell you right now what's gonna happen is at some point here I'm gonna be naming specifics like actual restaurants in the valley and everywhere because I'm just tired of the games. I mean, if this is the game people are gonna play and they're gonna start talking about me behind my back when my field has nothing to do with theirs, you basically that's like volunteering and coming into my realm, my reality, my life, and my playing field, right? So no problem. Now I'm gonna go into your playing field. Now I'm gonna go into yours because see me, it's always an eye for an eye. Sorry, but it is. I roll with God. We do eye for an eye. We do fairness. Real talk. So if people think they're just going to do things towards me and then there's not going to be response, oh, we respond every time, bro. Do you have any idea who I am? So, like I said, now I can talk about any establishment, any restaurant publicly, right? I was trying to be nice, but now it's that time. Like now I can literally expose you publicly. I can call out your restaurant publicly and say, this individual is not doing their job. This individual is committing felonies at work. This individual is bothering me. I could do all of that, bro. So like I said, are y'all sure that you want to be cute with me? Are you sure you want to, like be talking to me when I'm not talking to you? You know what I mean? Like people just need to think twice, bro. Because like I said, I'm doing full restaurant reviews. Yeah, food reviews and restaurant reviews. That means if I give you a bad review, that's public, bro. And I can go on your webpage too and leave a comment, which I'm more inclined to do every day. You understand? Like I said, it ain't about trying to do anything negative. I'm trying to do everything positive. But if you are negative, then I got to give you the right review of what you are and what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty much probably gonna. I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty much guaranteeing a review for probably every restaurant in the valley. I'll just call all y'all out publicly, straight up. So I mean, if you do good, then you get a good food review. If you do bad, then you get a bad one. But see, that's the thing. This is not to be. This is to be positive. But this is something that needs to be done so that people can see, where they want to actually eat at and what they want to do. I have full ability to do that. Yeah, that's what you do on here. Food reviews, right? So that way, if you like the food, you talk about it. But see, when you got people doing extra theatrics, I mean, it just is what it is. Like I said, I don't know why people want to go out their way to start nonsense and act like things are personal when I don't know none of these people and they got no business speaking to me, bro. You know what I mean? But like I said, we tolerate no disrespect. If you take it there and you disrespect me in any way, shape, or form, or I feel any way slighted, like I said, I'm doing a review and I'm gonna say the truth about all y'all. That's not one person. I'm gonna say the truth about everyone. I'm gonna expose everyone, and like I said, more people may lose their job. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm literally making that like my whole career. Yeah, because I got a job. I'm the CEO of my own company. My career basically is that if people are doing things they not supposed to, especially towards me, you more than likely gonna lose your career. Yeah, and you're not gonna have no money to do whatever. All those things you wished on me, right? That's why it says in the readings, I'm getting 10 times the amount of everything that you didn't want me to have, right? It says in the readings, I'm getting blessed, I'm getting gifted, I'm getting everything. Everything I touch will turn to gold. Facts. So, like I said, that's about it, man. Like I said, what's our slogan for 2025? Play with me if you want. There ain't no fear over here. All y'all are peasants, you're wage slaves, you work your little jobs, and y'all don't even do nothing. Y'all don't even do your job description. If y'all don't even know your job description, how's anybody going to tell me anything? Exactly. I am the authority. I don't do no talking, bro. I'm a man of action, bro. Trust me, bro. People will see very quickly my power and they will back off. I don't care who it is. You understand? Anybody, bro. Trust me, I don't back down, bro. I don't care who you are. See, this is the problem. A lot of people, they look at me, they think that something's sweet. Ain't nothing sweet with me. They think that I'm defenseless. I got God with me, every angel, I got every realm, I've got everyone writing for me. Are you serious? I got spiritual entities that start writing for me. Yeah, that means people go against me, violate me in any way. I got ghosts and spirits and ancestors that go visit you. Straight up. Yeah. I got ghosts that go see you. You know what I mean? So if y'all start seeing some paranormal activity around you, I'm probably why, because the way you tried to treat me or talk to me. Make sure you talk to me right. You never know who you're talking to. You feel me? You might be talking to the actual Messiah himself, boy, and not have a clue who you talking to. You feel me? Like I said, what's the world gonna tell the Messiah? I'm the true Messiah. I've been telling y'all that for decades, bro. And ain't nothing fake over here, man. I stand on every statement I ever made and every action I ever took was the right action. Stand up to these people. They ain't no good. You understand? They don't deserve nothing. And they deserve everything that they go through and that they get. And I'll tell any of you right to your face. So again, who's the authority? Me. There's no power struggle because we already know who has the power. We knew that every single day. You feel me? And that's all I really got to say, man. So, like I said, stay up. Like I said, you see what's happening to all y'all. You see what's happening to all your generations. Literally, I mean, you're the one who created all this, man. I mean, you're talking about, bro, this stuff's going to last for generations, bro. All your generations, you did this to. All of it. I ain't got to spell it out for you, man. You people did this to yourselves, man. Like I said, this is what happens when you want to be dirty and vile and no good towards good, righteous people who do nothing but help everybody and show love and spread love and positivity. I'm a good person, bro. Trying to mess with a good person or a righteous man and think, oh, it's all good, and you just gonna walk away without any karma, man. Get out of here, bro. You crazy. And that's what time it is. All y'all know reality now. Yeah, exactly. Play with me if you want. 2025, baby. So, like I said, we run the music game. Like I said, Cashless Bayman more successful than any record label ever. Like I said, all of them in that group, they go bankrupt like Birdman and Little Wayne, right? Kissing up to each other, literally, right? Right? So, come on, bro. I'm not Drake, man. I didn't have a crush on Little Wayne, and I didn't come up on Degrassi in a wheelchair, fool. Copying my phrases from songs I created, turn them into memes, man. They sitting there, got Kanye West stealing my quotes about love and fear being a vibration and this being a thought realm. Y'all don't even know what you talking about. Boy, stop it. And Kanye's a joke too, and he's continuing to get his karma. His entire existence is his karma. Same with Jay-Z, same with Diddy. Yep. So I mean, like I said, clearly all of you are getting yours. I mean, all of them. Will Smith, same thing. He did. He's the one who forked his son over for whatever, for the devil to do whatever he wanted with. Let's just get real. And his issues came out already. He's got the same issue all the Masons got. That's why he kept doing that around his son. Like I said, all y'all, it's easy to see, man. And this is the problem: is you got a public who supports the Illuminati. Okay, no problem. All y'all are enemies. So we're back to the you know what everybody movement, and it's whatever, man. You feel me? So we could do whatever, bro. I don't really care at this point. Like I said, I'm a real gangster, bro. You understand? So, like I said, I mean, people want to play these games. I mean, there's more than one way to approach things. I know how to approach things the right way in society and make it look cute while I still make sure that you lose. You understand? You're going to take an L messing with me. I don't care who you are. Okay? You're going to take an L. You're going to lose. Okay? Majorly. You feel me? So, like I said, it is what it is with me. I mean, people got to understand the animal they playing with, boy. That's all. All y'all got to start figuring it out, man. Like I said, quit acting like I'm something I'm not. You people need to do your research on me, homie. Y'all don't know nothing about me, and trust me, I already took full advantage of that. I've been laughing at you for years. You people want to act like you don't know about me. Come on, bro. You know about me. You know about me. All y'all, bro. You know about me. Yeah, you know exactly how I get down and who I am. Feel me? So yeah, ain't no fake stuff no more. We ain't got to sit here and try to pretend no more. Like I said, I was just living my life. Now I'm starting to figure out what all y'all on. You feel me? So cool, no problem. Let's play now. Let's see if they all want to play the game now. I doubt it. Feel me? Because you're gonna lose. I don't care who you are. Feel me? So like I said, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I run the streets. I got all the power in the world. I don't care what people think, and I don't care about your opinion, and I don't care what you tell yourself. You're all nobodies. Feel me? And that's about it. And like what I say right to your face. Y'all don't. And everything you say hiding. Ain't nobody said nothing to me. Nothing. Even when y'all try to come some way, it's still on some coward stuff, and you still have to walk away with your tail tucked between your legs, and you get told off and told reality. Like I said, nobody controls me, man. I do what I want to do. Like that's the number one thing I pride myself on. That'll never change. People can say whatever. I mean, you running your mouth doesn't mean you control me. I do what I want to do, son. Trust me, bro. I'm from the hood for real, bro. You don't know who I am. Sitting there barking up the wrong tree. You don't have a clue who you talking to, man. It's like I said, quit misconstruing me because I look better than Justin Bieber did in his prime. Please stop that. Please stop acting like I'm just some cute white boy. Oh, I'm beautiful. I know it. Trust me. Wait till y'all see me tomorrow. Yeah, you're gonna see. Don't worry. I keep everything a surprise for y'all, man. I always look good. On my, I look fly. I look good. Come on, bro. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. Feel me? So, like I said, let them do what they do. Let them all continue to sit there and be envious and jealous. We're going to keep on winning. We're going to keep on getting paid, and we're going to keep flaunting it in front of your face. That's all. See, I just do me, and I get paid to be me. I don't got to do nothing extra. Real talk. Like I said, the people don't seem to get it, man. Like when somebody's going through something of the capacity of what I'm going through this entire time, and all you people kept coming towards me, approaching me, and trying to really get me caught up and like set me up literally and have me in situations. Do you understand what game you're playing? If you don't understand that, right, that a man has to stand up for himself and protect himself. This is my life. I'm going to always protect my life. Understand that. And that's in God's name. I'm always protect my life. Always. I'm always stand up for my life. I only got one, right? So it's like I don't know why it was that serious, but just understand something, bro. I always come back and address everyone. Always. It don't matter where I'm at, who it is. I let nothing go, right? So like I said, I mean, once Christina get around me and we got all this bread and money, I mean, I'm gonna have a field day because trust me, the way that people tried to play games with me when I'm going through something this serious, trust me, all I'm going to be doing is playing games with y'all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, you try to make things hard for me, I'm going to make them impossible for you. Feel that? You understand? Just like I said, when y'all going to have your hands out and all y'all going to be begging, oh, put me on. Oh, yo, homie, give me an opportunity. Just like all y'all fools in the street when I'm about to pull up. We about to pull up in literally like, what's it called? What's that car I wanted? A Rolls Royce. I'm going to end up buying a Rolls Royce. Watch. Yeah, I'm gonna end up buying one off of capital made from our businesses too. Watch. I'm gonna get me a Rolls Royce for me and Christina, for Christina and I. Watch. Yeah, I'm talking about the long ones that are gold with the big grill. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up in a Rolls Royce and y'all gonna be like when we pull up in Atlanta and stuff, y'all gonna be on the street. Yo, son, let me holler at you. I'm gonna treat you like 50 cents. So I'm gonna say, nah, I ain't got nothing for you. right? You feel me? You know what I mean? You should know what time it is. You should know what I got for you, right? You should know what time it is. I ain't got nothing for y'all. Don't ask me for nothing. You don't get nothing. You don't get a dime, no nada, no nothing. We ain't gonna spend our time like you. Like y'all are like weird, bro. Y'all be trying to do things out of spite and then wonder why you get your karma. I don't do all that. You know what I mean? But we just not giving you nothing. You don't get us nothing. We remain righteous, good people. We don't do nothing like that. We don't talk like that. We treat people right. And that's all, man. Everything is me standing up for myself. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm wrong for standing up for myself. I promise you that. We ain't gonna let that slide. Hell nah, bro. Y'all got to learn how to talk to a grown man, bro. It's just that simple, man. And you got to watch what you doing around me, homie. Like straight up. So maybe now people will think twice and they'll understand. Like you don't get it, bro. It's a big deal when you come at me any type of way, bro. I don't care who you is, homie. Real talk. And I don't care where we at. I don't. I don't care, bro. I don't care if it was an army, 8,000 people, bro. You're gonna understand. You're gonna talk to me, right? Feel me? I'm different, bro. We built different. See, y'all take stuff, you put up with stuff. Me, we drop everything and we stop right there and we make sure we solve the issue and you understand the point of who you just talked to. You see what I'm saying? Come on, bro. This is like when Christina and I have kids. Like I said, you think anybody's going to say anything to my children? Not at all. No, they're not. Nope, because I'll address them. This is why Christina is going to be my wife, and you know, she's smart. She knows that she'll never have to worry. People don't mess with me because they know better. I'm really a gangster, bro. I've never taken an L yet. Do you understand that? I've never backed down to anyone in my entire life, ever. Okay? This is what I do. So I don't do all that. And this has been the problem in the past with some of these delusional narcs. I don't do all that for people to pretend like they have anything to worry about. No, Christina understands reality. She will never have anything to worry about because you're with me. You see the point? People literally will move just off the strength of who I am. People will say, "You're with him? Okay, here you go. Here's the best table in the house." That's what happens when you're a gangster. You see what I'm saying? See, this is the problem is too many of you, you want to fake this stuff. You want to fake the funk, blah, blah, blah. You want to worship money and talk about it. It ain't about money, man. It's about respect, bro. See what I'm saying? The money will come. That's what all y'all got misconstrued. So, like I said, keep doing things your way because all y'all following the way of Satan and the devil. I'm following the way of God. Like God told me, keep your eyes on me. That's what I do. I don't worry about money and all that stuff, man. I'd like to have more than enough so that I don't have to worry and stress. You know what I mean? So I'm good, but it ain't worth nothing the way y'all do things. It for sure ain't worth my freedom. It ain't worth me doing dumb decisions and making mistakes like y'all. I just don't even understand how y'all move like that. I don't even get it. I mean, you can't be in no major city right now. That's why I love where I'm at as much as I, have issues because of other people. It's not me, it's other people. I love where I'm at. I love it because it's perfect for me. You understand? If I was in like a major city like Chicago or Dallas right now or Houston or Austin, I'm sure I'd be having major problems with people. Because this is a new generation, man. Y'all too loose lipped. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I can't even come around y'all, bro. Real talk, because I'm the type of dude. Let's get real, man. I'm the type of dude. I go to a club or I go out somewhere or I go out in public. People don't run their mouth at me. You say something wrong to me, I mean, I ain't got to spell it out. I mean, I literally will lose my you know what and go ballistic. That's who I am. I don't know how y'all move and get down, but me, I'm the type of dude. I don't care where I'm at. I'm a street dude for real, bro. You say something wrong to me, you better know who you talking to. That's how I move. Let's just get real, bro. I mean, at least everywhere else but here, like I said, here I try to clean it up and make it look cute. I ain't the one, trust me. I don't care who you are. You could be 800 pounds and 800 feet tall and be the Jolly Green Giant. I don't care. You ain't going to talk to me no way. Straight up. Feel me? So, like I said, I don't know how y'all do things. I don't do things like that. I drop everything and I address you and focus on you completely until you understand who you're talking to and what time it is. Capiche? That's what I thought. So, like I said, all these other people, they're all a bunch of 3 foot tall ants. They ain't nobody. They can keep my name out their mouth and they know better. Feel me? They know exactly who I am. Boy, stop pretending. Y'all know who the internet celebrity is? Want to sit here and fake it. Want to pretend. Like what? Like I'm like you? Hell. Can't be serious, man. That's why they jealous. I'm gonna tell you why they jealous, man. They jealous because of stuff I'm not even worried about. That's why you got to just take things as they come when it come to blessings. That's why you can't be like that and can't be tripping all the time. I went through my eras of tripping already, man. Y'all see me on camera tripping. You see me wearing bandanas and doing all that. You know what I mean? I'm super thug. I'm super gangster. Y'all see me in the hood in the ghettos. Y'all see me turn up on people. Y'all heard me on camera turning up on fools just for talking to me wrong or coming around me. I did all that already, man. I ain't trying to be on that, man. We cleaned it all the way up, baby. I'm a businessman. You feel me? You understand? But just don't get it misconstrued and twisted and think that element of me is gone, like 50 Cent said. You know what I mean? He said, let me show him some of the old me. You feel me? No, homie, trust me. Like, I'm really about that. That's all I'm about. That's what I come from. So, like I said, miss me with it. Miss me with the fake nonsense. Let's get back to reality and let's, like I said, make it look cute and look like we're playing with, like I'm Mickey Mouse here. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, like I said, this is Tyree. Oh, and I run the internet. Oh, and you'll do what I say because Mickey's the boss. You understand? Oh, so yeah, like I said, I know who I am. You feel me? I don't really care what people have to say because, like I said, my actions always speak a lot louder than anybody's words. Quote that. That's a hell of a Tyree Sneak quote for the ages. My actions always speak a lot louder than anybody's words. Real talk. I say a lot more with action than anybody does talking because everybody just runs their mouth. But I'm just being honest, bro. I'm glad that I'm not in a major city because, like I said, I know how I'm programmed and how I'm built, and that's just how we came up in the street, man. Like straight up, bro. In this environment now, y'all got all these millennials running around, and y'all millennials just don't know your head from your you know what, and you'll be running your mouth, and you'll end up running your mouth to the wrong person, not understanding. Some people still built like this, but you could never fathom that. So I don't fit into this day and age, and I understand that. That's why you see me. I stay the hell away from everybody. Talking to me, like straight up, I ain't got to spell it out for you, man. It's a problem for anybody, bro. You shouldn't be talking to me at all. It ain't good for you. Straight up, I'm not the one, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, all these other civilians and people, talk to them, man. They you have a good conversation with them, I'm sure, bro. Talking to me, you better know who the hell you talking to, and you better have a damn good reason. I'm not somebody people can just approach and talk to. I'm just not. I've never moved like that in my entire life. I'm not starting now, bro. Like, yeah, I'm trying to be approachable and nice to the public. If you a fan and you just a good person showing love, no problem, bro. I'll be cool with you. You know what I mean? But when it come to anything else, like, nah, bro, people got to watch how, like, I'm just being honest. People don't talk to me like that. They should just understand, like, like, why are you talking to me at all? That's all. You should understand what you're looking at when you're talking to me, the situation. I'm a gangster, bro, an actual gangster. I mean, do I have to spell it out? Like I said, I mean, like I said, all these other people are, they play cute games. I mean, let them play dress up. It's just like in the street. If a dude want to play dress up and pretend he's Batman, that's cool. But you start perpetrating like you're doing what I'm doing, yeah, we're gonna have a conversation. Common sense, because you ain't gonna mess with my lane of what I really do. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, people got to give me credit. I took everything. I come from everything negative. I come from everything hard, tough, and bad, and rough, rugged, and raw. And I took it and I put it into something positive, and it helps people. It helps the youth. It helps. I mean, I got kids walking around, bro, with their families saying Batman and and waving and they happy. I mean, come on, bro. That stuff makes my day, man. I tell Christina and she's like, "Oh, that's cute." Like, I'm glad that it makes people happy. So I take my pain and my suffering and everything I've been through as a real street gangster, and I take that and I morph it into something that helps people. How you got to give me credit, and if not, you just not a good person. Feel me? That's why people love me because I think they understand and know like that dude's probably been through hell and back. Because I have hell you couldn't even imagine, and probably say at least he's got enough heart that he still is positive and wants to help people. That's what people don't see. They don't see how hard my walk is. It takes heart to do what I do, bro. It takes heart to hold on with what I've been going through physically this entire time. It takes heart to keep getting up every day at all and doing anything and trying and saying, I'm going to give my all even though I can't breathe. Okay? You don't have a clue what walking in my shoes is. You couldn't fathom for a millisecond what the hell I've been through and overcome. Keep my name out your mouth. You got that? I'm not the one. I'm not these other people. And that's about it. Okay, pumpkin? All right. So, like I said, y'all go ahead and, pretend and tell yourself your delusion and pretend it's all sweet and all cute like a little sugary plum. I don't really care what you do because you're all nobodies. Okay. But when it comes to me, you say my name in a conversation, make sure you sprinkle some respect on it. You understand? Because you don't have a choice, because that's how I get down and that's who I am and you know about me. I'm just being honest, bro, especially in the valley, man. You can't be serious, bro. I done did too much in the valley, man. Let's just quit the games and get real. I did too much. I got too many stripes in the street. I done stood up to too many fools. I done like I've showed up and showed out. People know about me. So yeah, like I said, miss me with the nonsense, bro. We're not gonna play extracurricular games because people are spoiled and entitled and they're millennials and they don't know who the hell they're dealing with or talking to. We're not doing that. No, we're not. I'm 35 years old, bro. Come on, bro. I'm gonna be 36 July 21st of this year. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited about it because the way I see it, I'm like, man, if I get to 40, I'm gonna be the strongest. I'm already the strongest man in the world. I'm gonna be even stronger. Any time that goes by, I just plan to get stronger. I really do, because that's all I know how to do. So, I mean, God willing, you know what I mean? I'll just get stronger and keep going and pressing. You know what I mean? Like I said, it is what it is, man. But yeah, like I said, I just love life, and I'm just glad that I'm able to be positive. I'm happy that I have Christina, at least to talk to me online for now. And I'm just happy that she's walked into my life and she's going to be with me. I can't wait, man. It's everything we both deserve and everything I've deserved for eternity, for my entire existence before I even existed. I deserve Christina. You understand? So I just can't wait to be with her. I don't even care about the money. It's not about that. I just, want to not have to struggle anymore, and I want that for her and for us. You feel me? But other than that, like I said, I couldn't be in a major city right now, man. There's too much going on in the world. You know what I mean? I just couldn't because I'm human. I mean, I could maybe do it, but for what? That's the thing, man. You could be, the toughest thug, gangster, whatever, but in the streets, you're at the mercy of the world, man. You still have to watch your actions. That's what people don't understand. So if I go to a major city, like I have to sit there and I have to still like, I mean, regardless, I have to put up with stuff, whether I want to or not, because it's not worth it. It's just not. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I ever have, but I'm just saying, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? In those major cities, man, they're just doing it to each other now. I mean, it's just crabs in a bucket mentality. That's why you have to figure out how to run a business that doesn't have to do with anybody. That's why I love doing this. That's what people don't get. Like, don't worry about me, bro. I make my little money here. I do what I do, and all y'all have the ability to donate. The Cash App's in the bottom left-hand corner. What's to stop you? Go make some money, work your job, go get a job, son, and donate. I mean, I'm gonna do what I do regardless because it doesn't take much out of me. I just talk and I do my videos, right? I mean, it takes a lot. It's hard work. None of you could do what I do, obviously, but I'm just saying. I just set the world record for 310 pull-ups. Like I said, you want to call them mini pull-ups, no problem. Inertia pull-ups, no problem. But either way, I did them, and it's 310 of them. I mean, that's a world record. So I mean, you can see my body is just ridiculous. I'm in amazing shape. I mean, that's what I try to focus on, man. I'm trying to get ready for, like I said, I just call it for New York, because I know Christina and I will be going to New York at some point, and like I said, I'll probably play some street ball out there. Well, not probably, I'm going to, especially at Rucker Park where Jim Jones, got owned. Like I said, he's a coward. All y'all are. All y'all the same, man. But like I said, I'll go to Rucker Park. But like I said, I'm gonna be the Batman out there, and I really think that's what the new Batman movie was about. I think it was about. I think they knew what was going to happen. I think it's about the future with me. I honestly do. I think the suit that me and Christina make is might end up looking like that. I mean, it just makes sense, and then like I said, I mean, you can see that they all end up the departments end up all knowing who he is, and then they end up liking him and helping him and working with him. I mean, that's something you need in New York, bro. It's too much going on. Did y'all hear about what happened? I can't talk about it on here because there's rules, but some crazy stuff happened. Kind of crazy. I think the guy is okay, which I'm happy about. I'm glad he's all right, but it's just the streets, they say there's a lot of stuff going on. You need a Batman. That's what you need. So, like I said, there won't be any warning. It'll just be Batman will just show up in New York and these different cities and states, probably make the news in the headlines because, right, because there's so much going on. And then the news is always paying attention. So, they're going to do these stories, and then when Batman just shows up and helps, and shuts everything down the right way, people are going to be like, yeah, it was a real Batman. And that's what's going to happen in New York, I think. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to travel, word of mouth is going to travel real fast in the news, and then you're going to see me on the news probably at some point, and people are going to be like, wow, there's a real, actual, active Batman now, and I could change the whole city in New York by myself. And the thing is, though, I'm not there to make anyone look any type of way, but it's going to prove that those people in those departments don't do their jobs. You see what I'm saying? Because if they really did their job, which is to protect and serve and protect the public and help us, the people, and defend us, they're supposed to get in the mix, man. That's their job. I'm just being honest, but they don't. They wait till after everything happens, and then they just come file a report. It's never to help you. If anything, it's designed to make things harder for you and create stress and have you go into court. That's why I never deal with them and never will. They're not my friend. None of them. You feel me? They sold out. They sold their soul, and they're a Mason. Straight up. Yeah. I'm sorry, but yeah, no, that's the enemy. They've never done anything to help me. I've never seen them do anything to help anybody. Okay? Feel me? Now, like I said, I can be respectful, but that's it. You know what I mean? Like we know what it is in this country, man. Like I said, all those departments, they're all corrupt, man. And like I said, they just got exposed for what they really do. You know what I mean? So my whole deal is I don't really care about them because they have nothing to do with what I do or me at this point and never really will. But like I said, in New York, it might be different. I don't know. Maybe they're going to want to recruit Batman to help them and stuff. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm against that. I mean, I'm all for that. I'm all about unity, man. If it's good unity, as long as it's helping, but I'm always be the people's champion, trying to help and support the people. You know what I mean? The good people, So it's about protecting the public and protecting people and helping people. I don't work for nobody and never will, and I don't take orders. That's for sure. Feel me? So there's a reason why I do what I do, and I'm real as hell to do it. Why don't you just give me the credit? And see, for me to have to ask that, that just, takes away from the whole thing for me. That's why I just don't understand y'all, especially on the internet, because y'all can't be real about nothing. That's why I don't talk to y'all no more. There ain't nothing for us to talk about, man. Y'all fake and I'm real. It's just that simple. What it's been since day one. I mean, you want to be envious of me and all the money I've made and spent and how good I look and what I do? No problem. Go ahead. I won every way but sundown. That's all these red triangles and everybody proved. So that's all I really got to say at this point. Like I said, stay up. Much love to everybody. Nothing but peace and positivity and happiness and, good wishes for everyone, truthfully. And that's about it, man. But stand up to these evil people, man. You know what I mean? Don't put up with a lick of what they got to dish out, man. They don't deserve that, man. They don't. They don't deserve anything. Straight up. You know what I mean? You get what you put out in the universe. You get it back. I don't care who you are. Karma is real. And that's what all these people learn in the hard way. So let them learn. Feel me? Let them learn their lesson. All of them. You feel me? Other than that, like I said, I'm glad I'm not in some major city in the US right now. That's all I gotta say. There's too much going on. And like I said, you're gonna continue to see just a bunch of like bad stuff happen, and it's just common sense, man. It's common sense what's gonna go down. It's common sense what everybody's on. It's common sense, you know what I mean, how people operate. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing out of the loop. It ain't nothing out of the picture. It ain't nothing out of the normal, man. It's just this is what it is. You know what I mean? So me, I just speak publicly. I do the best I can. I do great being Batman. I just do a lot, man. And it is what it is. Like I said, the Batman thing I may be putting on hold too for a while. I just got to see how I feel and what I'm doing, man. Like I said, I need more resources, man. I need a budget, and I want to do it somewhere where it really, really matters. Here, it's like pointless at this point. And I don't know what people are talking about because the streets are like super safe. They are. They're super safe now because of Batman. So please stop lying on social media, man. You people will never just let it go, man. Like, yeah, like the streets are super safe from what I see. I don't know from my point of view. Whenever I'm around, they are. I don't know about how y'all do things, but I don't know what they're talking about, bro. There's no problems, like at all. Everything is a okay. But yeah, other than that, like I said, you people that it is what it is, man. It just is what it is. When people are doing what they're doing, it's not a game. It's not a joke. That's all. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Take it to court and we'll continue to win. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, I'm glad I'm not in a major city, man, because you millennials, you're downright crazy. You know, real talk. They just run their mouth too much. You're not crazy. That's why you do it. And it's just irritating because Some of us, you got to understand, are full-fledged actual gangsters. Like my ancestors, bro, were like the outlaws in the Wild Wild West. So I'm just saying the way I'm built to be very reactionary and responsive, meaning that the minute that you cross that line, you get what I'm saying? It just turns on a inner mechanism in my mind and my body that I think comes from my ancestors. And this is what people don't understand is this is a real thing. So it's like I don't want to be around you millennials, especially in major cities, because I have to turn off that mechanism inside me and it's hard for me to do. You understand? Because I've cultivated it for a reason. It's for my survival. It needs to be there. And I cannot deal with you millennials because you will say something that's not respectful in front of me, not knowing who I am or who I am or how I get down and how I am and what I do and how I don't tolerate anything like that. And I don't want you to make that mistake straight up. I don't want to be put in that position. So I try to avoid it, which is really smart of me, right? So it's like it's not like I don't have self-control or I can't turn it off, but it's like why should I have to? Because either way I demand my respect. It's the way you should be. But at this point in the game, because there's so many of you millennials and you people who just seem aloof and don't understand reality and because of what stage we are in the game, either way I have to let people do their thing and I just keep my cool and my calm and I just respond with a smart response and that's it. There's a way to handle everything and I handle it the right way, but I'm just saying I'm glad I'm not in a major city because I'll end up forgetting or I'll have a bad day or you know what I mean or I'll just choose one day not to care, and I don't want to go through that. I just don't. You feel me? So, like I said, it is what it is, but I don't know, man. Like I said, things are going pretty well for me, man. Things are looking up. I'm doing pretty well, so it is what it is. All right. I'll talk to y'all later, man. Christina, I love you more than life. I love you.